Hello, everybody. Good Saturday to you. It's Matt, and welcome back. We got a little bit of a update today regarding Epic Universe. I've been just kind of following up with some other vlogs I've seen out there regarding the ticket sale disaster, as it's being coined on some pages, and how people are up in arms because they're not going to opening day, or they couldn't get opening day, or it's just it. Oh, yo, I tell you, this day of social media and that everything is about the here and the now, and not, well, maybe in a couple days I'll be able to do it. It's just, oh, it's amazing when you look at it. Like, just some people are just beside themselves on the fact that they lost out on tickets, and how Universal's epic ticket disaster and all this other stuff, and you see it all over social media. Some are taking it well, some are not taking it so well. So I wanted to talk about that. And also, if anybody that's unhappy they're not going to opening day, I'm going to remind you that that's not exactly a bad thing, and why that's not a bad thing. Um, and also, it's this day of the here and the now. This is all social media that drives this stuff. Everybody's all about the content. Got to get the content. Got to get out there. Everybody is going to run out there day one that can get out there, and it's going to be an epic day, all right. Let me tell you. I want to talk about that. Plus, we'll follow up with a little bit of these ticket sales here. Again, talk about my decision. I talked about that on my other vlog about how I will not be there opening day for various reasons. And the other thing is, I do enjoy reading my comments. That's what we're going to start off with real quick here. This last one I did, granted it's only two. There says there's three comments. I don't know where the third one is sitting at. Either that, or it's that bad that they don't want to show it to me. But it's not gotten the greatest of comments, which is fine. My theory is, if you can't handle the fires that social media throws at you, you don't belong on social media. Period. Like, that's the way it is. And all these people that try to bow or bend the knee and please everybody, that twist themselves into a pretzel. There's a lot of vloggers around here that do that, and you just end up driving yourself crazy trying to please everybody. And then when one person says something bad, they go absolutely stir crazy, and they start blocking people, deleting people. I don't believe in doing that unless the comment is so absolutely disgusting or disparaging or goes after me or family members. Then we're gonna have an issue. But people can say whatever they want for the most part. I don't expect them to agree with everything I say. I fully expect that. And the other thing is almost 20 years of firefighting and being in some of the most unimaginable, I'm sorry, both being in and seeing some unimaginable things and places that the average person can't even begin to understand what it's like to experience some of that stuff. I've grown a rather thick skin, so not too much bothers me. The only thing that I will say is, if I put out statistics on something and somebody comes up and says, I think your numbers are off, I think it's this, I will defend my numbers. And if I'm off, then I'm off, and I'm wrong, and I admit it. But if I'm right, I like to prove that I'm right, because I'm used to doing that. I've had to do that many times in my career. Patients have said I didn't do something when I clearly did, because there it is in my documentation, and I've had to defend that. If there's one thing that I really, it's just part of my nature. I don't want to be the type that, as they would say, you'd bury yourself alive to prove you can handle a shovel. I don't want to be that into it or that extreme. But if I put something out there and somebody's like, I think you're wrong, I will sometimes go out there and prove that I'm right. So the last Epic Universe update I did, or the tickets one, that was I think it was okay. I look back on it. The more and more I rewatch it, I try not to do it too much because YouTube will flag it, but you can definitely tell it was rushed. I was in the middle of a very long work week, and I'll tell you, man, doing this, working 12 plus hour days. It has its challenges, and there's times when I'm like, I got to get this video out. You know, Epic Universe is the hot topic, and some of it does feel a little bit rushed when I look out there. But I don't want to pull the video down because that looks like shit, you know. And you do that, you know, you don't stand on you know that you put out a decent product. And while I think it could have been a lot better, I think it's full of some useful information, although it is a little bit scattered. And that's one thing I have to work on. You know, is trying to organize things a little bit better when I put this info out there. The one thing I do want to chat about real quick is somebody left a comment. Well, there were actually two on there, and that's the one thing I've learned when you have a new channel and not a whole lot of subscribers, that your comments are they stick out like sore thumbs. They're not like people with 75 or 100,000 subscribers, and you know they'll get 3, 5, 10,000 comments for each video, and just everything kind of meshes together. But when you have a small channel, these things stick out. And one person replied that the video was a whole huge pile of BS. I don't know why it's funny. It's I guess I love when people say stuff like that because it's kind of funny. I mean, it's a pile of BS. Fine, okay. And then the other one was, it was saying that I was off a little bit on the number of rides for Epic Universe. This person says there's 11 total rides, and then I was off on the acreage. They're developing a total of 750 acres, but they're guessing probably only 200, 250. So this is where I'm going to defend my statement a little bit. So I'm not saying this person's wrong for saying that. I appreciate the comment, and that means they're watching. You know, sometimes I'll throw numbers and things in my videos like that, because it helps me know that people are watching. Because you know, I'll embed things like with the Christmas video last year. I walked past the Hall of Presidents and made some comments, and some people, oh, I was enjoying this till it got political, and I'm like, well, that means to me you're watching, because that was at like 35 minutes in. So, you know, there's ways you can kind of self-test to see if people are following along with you and how long they're watching for. So, it's good, and I like the fact that people are watching. And I also, again, I encourage engagement, but stuff like this, I will, you know, defend what I put out there. So here we go. Let's do this real quick. This is just like when, you know, in the medical field, when a patient goes up against you and says you didn't do something, or that you did something wrong and you know you did it right, and you have to prove yourself. So here we go. I'm going to prove myself. So the argument is the acreage. Okay. So up on the screen right here, we're going to throw this up there. Just ready? We're going to throw it up there. We need to Google what is the acreage of Universal's Epic Universe Park. Here we go. And there it says, if you notice right away, in the first sentence, 750 acres. And then it says, situated on 750 acres, Epic Universe includes a theme park as well as 3 hotels, shops, and food and beverage. Epic Universe is billed as the most ambitious theme park ever created by Universal Destinations and Experiences, and a game changer for theme park entertainment. So that's where I got my information from. I got it from there, and I also have some friends that work as paramedics out at Universal, and I talk with them from time to time, and that's where I get some of my other info. Now, the other item in question is the attractions. If you remember, I said Epic Universe has 50 or more rides and attractions, and that severely outnumbers Magic Kingdom's. I was using Magic Kingdom as an example because Magic Kingdom is by far Disney's most ride prolific park. They have the most rides. It's not their biggest park, but it's the one that has the most rides and attractions. So that's why I used that, and I was comparing a one-day ticket to Magic Kingdom versus a one-day ticket to Epic Universe, and then also throwing in the park hopper, which then includes all the other parks at Disney World, which, if you look at it, Magic Kingdom versus Epic Universe, it's almost apples to oranges, you know, with Epic Universe being the apples, depending on what, if that's the more supreme product, you know. And so here's the other backup on this. If you go into Google here, all hail Google, say and say how many rides and attractions are in Epic Universe. And there you have it. Epic Universe will present a level of theme park immersion that is unmatched, transporting guests to expansive worlds featuring more than 50 awe-inspiring attractions, entertainment, dining, and shopping experiences that come together to create unforgettable adventure that is nothing short of epic. Now, the argument could be made that maybe rides and attractions, they could have included the dining in there. It's kind of, I'll admit that's a little iffy on the statement, with the number, but ultimately it comes out to 50. And the next one is, if we go to Magic Kingdom now, but how many rides and attraction does Magic Kingdom have? Disney's Magic Kingdom has 24 rides. Now, to be fair, it says 24 rides. For some reason, I got a whole different readout than the other one, but you got to assume that if you figure in the rest of it, you're going to be shorter than 50. So Magic Kingdom has 24 rides. Magic Kingdom is Disney World's best theme park and single most popular theme park in the world, which is crazy to me. I think it's a great place, I really do, but when you compare it up against even parks like Dollywood, which is rapidly becoming one of the best destinations in the world, Dollywood also has around 41 different attractions and shows. And then you have Busch Gardens Williamsburg, which keeps getting voted America's most beautiful theme park year after year. And then, and it goes on and on from there. And then I love Magic Kingdom, but when you start putting that stuff out there, well, I don't understand why, of all of the theme parks in the world, like that one, because ever since 2020, there's a lot of shit broken and a lot of stuff looks outdated, and it's not the Magic Kingdom that it was when I first started going, like less than 10 years ago even. So I don't understand that. I guess because it's part of Disney World, maybe. Because you got to think about Tokyo Disney Sea, Tokyo Disneyland, Hong Kong Disneyland, Shanghai Disneyland, Disneyland Paris, all have beautiful theme parks. All have a variation of the Magic Kingdom, but yet somehow the one here is the most popular. It's mind-blowing. So anyway, got off topic. So 24 is what pops up on there. All right. So that's where I got my info. Okay. So the internet may not be always right, but that's where I got my research from, and that's why I use those numbers that I did. I'm be the first to say I'm wrong when I'm wrong, but that's, maybe those are wrong, but that's what I went off of, and that's why I put that out there. So if you have something else, I'd be happy to, again, continue this debate a little bit, but that's where it's at, And all in all, though, you're paying less for a ticket for a park that is bigger and has more to do than Magic Kingdom itself. In order to get a similar experience, you would have to buy a park hopper at Magic Kingdom or any of the other Disney parks, which would allow you to visit all four, and to get the same amount of attractions. Because if you do the whole Disney World property, it has over 50. So that's why I was doing what I did. I mean, it is a different. I was fully prepared for a $199 to $200+ ticket for Epic Universe, and I was surprised when I saw those prices, 100%. So, all right, now moving forward to the people that are not happy that they lost out on day one, because right now, from what I'm understanding, is the first weekend from Thursday through Sunday is now sold out. I went and checked the calendar a little while ago, and it is not there. There are no tickets to be had for annual pass holders. If you are buying a ticket, like you want to buy the ticket package, you can still get one for opening day, but it's going to cost you. And again, I am not that interested on going on opening day to spend that kind of money. It just is not worth it to me. I know some people will just to say they were there, but I will not be doing that. And so now you can start looking into tickets for the next week, the week after, and on and on and on. There's been a lot of people out there putting out things like saying epic disaster, epic this, epic that. And while I do agree that with the frustration that people felt that day, Thursday the 24th, when tickets went on sale, for annual pass holders, yes, Universal, I'm sure, got bombarded. And it was very frustrating for people because even for me, like I got on the website just to see, and it took hours to get in. And I was looking through tickets and I was going to buy some, and I'm just like, hold on a minute. What am I doing here? I'm going to bank on the annual pass holder previews, and then we'll take it from there. I am not that interested in going there even the first week or so, because I'm going to tell you, to all of those who lost out on opening day, and I know you're frustrated, but I'm going to give you some tips or some advice to ease your frustration. When Islands of Adventure opened in 1999, and then when Volcano Bay opened in 2017, I wasn't there in 99. I wasn't even living here yet. But all you got to do is look up what it was like when Islands of Adventure opened up, and it was a mess. Okay, that day one was an absolute mess. Volcano Bay, you can easily look up because there are tons of vloggers out there that went. I was there. I was not vlogging at the time. I wish I would have been, because I think it would have made for some really good content. I was just there as a guest, as an annual pass holder, because they allowed you to attach it to your annual pass, which was great because I would have been pissed if I'd have bought a single day ticket. Volcano Bay was an absolute shit show that day. Everything was not working right. It was from the get-go. The cash registers weren't working right. The slides, the conveyor belts that took the tubes up weren't working right. The slides were going down. The aqua coaster wasn't running correctly. I mean, there was still raw wood exposed on some of the slide towers. People were getting splinters. There were reports of people feeling tingling in their feet on the concrete where there was apparently a rogue wire somewhere. I mean, Volcano Bay was not ready to be open. It was clearly obvious. Now, is Epic Universe going to be a lot farther along than Volcano Bay was at the time? Yeah, I guarantee it. But you still got to look. What we can see in these photos, like the one I showed a couple days ago, the construction is moving along, but the finished product is coming together. I would say that park's about 80+% done right now. There's still landscaping. There's still a lot that needs to be done yet, but it's getting there. But if you look at the time frame, you've got November, December, January, February, March, April, and part of May. You got roughly 6 months to get this thing done. And probably, I would say 3 months realistically if you want this thing open for annual pass holder previews, because you're going to want a couple of months to start trying to iron the kinks out. Even though I'm sure it'll be open for a few months, and that's probably when I'll go, is for the preview. I know we probably won't be able to do everything. I know that's the reality of it. But that opening day, nothing can prepare the employees or the park for a day when you have a complete mob of people that is there to all do the same thing, and that's experience this park on day one. And in the day of social media, the day of the fear of missing out, which has been made even more aggressive since the events of 2020, people can't wait for anything anymore. They think that the world's basically going to end every minute of every second. So we have to do everything at a moment's notice. There is no waiting. There is no nothing. We have to do it now. And that is something that social media clearly drives. I try not to get sucked up in that because, like I said, what's going to happen is opening day is going to happen. And without a doubt, there's going to be glitches. There's going to be things that go on with the rides, with the electronics, with whatever could go wrong probably will. And I'm not saying that as a negative. That's the reality of the situation. The only reason to be there on opening day would be to just take it all in. Not to ride rides, not to try to eat anything, not to try to just to be there to take it in. But as I said before, this isn't like some traveling carnival that's going to pack up in 2 weeks and leave. This park is going to be here for decades. Honestly, either the world's going to end at some point, or Universal will someday go out of business and sell it to somebody else. I mean, whatever happens first. But Epic Universe is going to be here for a very long time. And there's going to be lots of opportunities to visit. If you're not there on the first day, count yourself lucky. Because like I said, that day at Volcano Bay, that day one, I was there for about 2.5 hours. And by 2 o'clock, I was out of there. I'm like, I cannot. This is just a disaster. It's horrible. I took one trip around the lazy river, the aggressive one, I forget the name of it. It's like the Teawa, the fearless river. And at that time, they haven't even figured that out, because at the time they had you wearing a life vest and you had to be on a tube, which was it was not a good combo in that river. And then I took one ride down one of the tube slides, because it was the only thing that was working right. It was the one where you had to carry your tube up to the tower with you. It was bad. It was bad. So I just, as I walked out of there, I said, this is going to be a fantastic park in a couple of months, but I'm never going to go to another opening day again. So all of you creators that may not have gotten opening day, take advantage of it. Watch what people are experiencing. Use that as content. Use that to talk about what you've seen, what their experiences are. And then take that, study it, and then go into the park with that knowledge and build on it. It's like studying game film in football or basketball. You study film to learn the other team. The same thing with this. I'm sure people will be live streaming there that day one. I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to take it all in. And then whenever I get there, we'll have a grand old time with it. But everybody's got this thought that if I don't film that day one, then it's just done. It's useless. And that's not it. Yeah, everybody's going to be curious to see the park, but you got to think this park is going to grow and grow over the next several years. There's always going to be new things. There's always going to be new experiences. It's going to be one of those parks where you won't be able to see and do everything all at once anyway. You're going to take multiple visits. So take it in. Take a deep breath. Don't give Universal a hard time. I get it. The ticket system was frustrating to a lot of people, but you got to think these call centers aren't designed to handle that kind of volume when it comes in, because everybody dogpiled onto the computer all at once. And what's crazy though is that the day tickets are still available as of today. Now that could have changed at any moment. But you can still get an opening day ticket, but you have to buy the other parks. The annual pass holder tickets are gone. So if the day tickets don't sell out, then maybe the crowds won't be so bad. And then maybe they'll open up more annual pass holder tickets later on if people want to go, or they'll start opening single day tickets for purchase up for the regular crowds outside of AP. A lot to be seen yet, but I'm just going to bank on pass holder preview. We'll go out there, we'll take it all in. And after the park opens, especially, it's going to be summertime, people. It's going to be hot as H. Florida in the summer. Now, granted, I think they did Epic Universe correctly, because there's a ton of shade, there's a ton of kinetic energy, there's a lot of moving water. It's going to feel cool out there. The pavement's not, it's designed in color so it doesn't feel like it's going to bake you. It's done in a really good way to make you feel cool, especially in the summer, but it's still going to be hot, and there's still going to be a lot of people. So my plan is, when I go, I'm going to wait till probably about now, like late September into October, and then go and enjoy it. Unless I get a wild hair at my ass at some point, but more than likely it'll be later on in the year. So that's it for this one. Just a little update. And again, don't stress, people. It's okay. You know what's going to happen after day one of Epic Universe? Everybody's going to go to sleep, and the sun's going to come up, and we're going to, God willing, get up the next day, and we're going to do it all over again. It's not that big a deal. And I hate the, people literally think that they've either let somebody down, or they've screwed up, or they have done something wrong because they didn't get a ticket for day one. Like, that's not life, man. We're not supposed to be like that. So, in stride, everybody. That's all I got. It's a nice little chat. I'll see you out in the parks later on today. And let's have some good college football today. All right. See ya.